I know I said I was going to do Superion, but I thought I'd throw a little bit of a curveball. This is also way easier than actually recording the Superion video, so I'll do that like next week, maybe. Alright, so this is a review of Blokees, just kind of in general. This is like every piece of Blokees that I own at the moment. This is going to get much larger, but at the moment this is all the Blokees I own. This is, and I should have counted this before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Galaxy version figures, 1 Defender version, and 1 Classic Class figure. So yeah, but this will be fast. This will be fast, I promise. To start things off, I should kind of talk about what Blokees are. I'm sure if you're in the Transformers community, you probably know by now, because they've been kind of taking a big spot in Transformers recently. But basically the model kits, very similar to like Gundam, that just completely like snap together, require, these ones, Blokees actually require no tools at all, which is very cool, very nice. And I do actually have one of my Gundams over for scale and comparison later, because believe it or not, I do collect things other than Transformers. That's pretty nice. But yeah, so this is a review of a bunch of Blokees things. These are from various different sets, the various different scales. Most of them are all about the same size. Obviously, most of the Galaxy figures are like the same size. Slight variations, but they're not huge variations. With Classic being the biggest, Defender being the smallest. It's, yeah. So these, well, everything here except for the Classic class is sold in blind boxes. Galaxies, these like mid-sized guys, run about $5 USD, except for this guy is a Shining version, which Shining version is a subsection of Galaxy. It's the same scale, but they come with lights and they're all like faces chromed out. They are about $7. And then Defenders, Defenders are about $3 US, I think. And Classics are about $20 US, which is a pretty good price because they're about the same size, a little bit smaller than like an HG Gundam, which typically runs about $25. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to start with Little Man Defender series. I don't know what version this guy is from. I do have the box, I just didn't care to look at it. Little Defender series, Star Screen. He's a little, tiny little man. And I can show that with some scale. So, here we have Defender series Star Screen. And we have HG, Gundam Battlelog Goof. We have Cybertron, Energon, Hotshot, which is same mold as Excellion, so if you have Excellion, same mold. Same size. And we have Marvel Legends Game of Force 2-pack Venom. So this is a little man. He's a little fella. He's about $3. I love him. So he doesn't come with a stand. All of the Galaxies and Classic Class come with stands. This little guy doesn't. But I love him. You can probably tell pretty much all of his joints are ball joints, which give him a pretty good range of motion, although they don't look the prettiest, but at this scale, about all you can do. So his shoulders can go out this far, pretty much only blocked by the null rays. They can go that far, technically be able to go all the way around, but the wings go that far back, again, because the wings. Elbows have basically perfectly 90 degrees. Kind of a bicep elbow rotation joint. And then wrists also, which are also a ball joint, so his wrists can also just wiggle just a little bit. Head is on full ball joint. You can look up this much. Hey, that's better than most Transformers. And down that much, also better than most Transformers. He does have waist, which is really nice at this scale. Legs can go forward that far if they come out a little bit. If you don't want them to come out, they can only go that high. They can go back that far, out that far. He does have like knee rotation. Bend at the knees about 90 degrees. Feet, something really hard to show. feet can move up and down just a little bit, and they can swivel. Yeah. In terms of articulation, he's, you know, pretty on par with what most, like, action figures Transformers can do. He's just a little man. I think he's cute. I think Defenders are cute. I don't collect them because I don't like their size. I think they're too small. Like, even for $3, they're pretty small. I also have a hard time actually finding them. Galaxy figures are the most common for me to be able to find. That's why I have the most of them. I also like their size the most, and they're only $5, which is kind of crazy considering the quality on a lot of them. I guess I should talk about this little man. This is Transformers 1 Megatron in tank mode. This is not Defender. This is not Galaxy. This is actually Classic Class. This comes with Starscream. Yeah, not to scale, obviously. But it's neat. It's a little neat, like, almost gift with purchase type thing. Okay. So, getting to Galaxies. I'm only going to really look at one in detail, but I will talk about all of them in terms of what I like about them and what I don't like about them. So I'm going to start with my least favorite Galaxy that I own. Transformers 1 decogged Orion Pax. He looks fine, I guess, but, like, his face is a little funky looking. I don't like it. And, yeah. I have Transformers 1 Optimus, and you'll see when I talk about him, he just looks cool. Yeah, kind of bland and kind of just weird character. I get why they did him, though. I get why they did it. Considering the amount that they do for a single, like, thing, I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. Well, that kind of set a precedent. I guess we'll talk about... Ooh, whoops. I keep hitting my camera. Okay. Talk about... This is Cogged D16. He's, I don't like him for pretty much one reason. The only ports on his arms are on the backs of them. So you have to give him gorilla arms if you want to be able to display his cannon out to the side. I hate that. I hate that a lot. Other than that, I mean, he's fine. He looks kind of bland because he's an unpainted gray, but yeah. So, that's it. Then, I guess we'll talk about this guy. This is Magnus. Technically not Ultra Magnus. This is basically a deco of the regular Galaxy G1 Optimus in his, in like a whiteout variant. This is, you know, the original Ultra Magnus toy was Armor on a white deco of Optimus. This is a recreation of that deco in Classic Class. He comes with, so every Galaxy version figure comes with two sets of hands, fist and open hand. I don't know where his other hands are, but he did come with open hand. I think his two closed, instead of coming with two closed hands, he came with one closed hand and one pointing hand. So yeah, I give him the axe. He also comes with an ion blaster, which I forgot. I still just realized I think I have his forearms on and on because he has the little holes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, I like this. I'm always a fan of a white Optimus. I think they look neat. Especially ones that actually have, like, the Ultra Magnus Armor feature. Okay. Radalot. Radalot, I think he's fine overall. I like the detail on his arms. I think he looks neat. Wish his head sculpt was better. Which, that's actually kind of a running theme with Blokees. I think when it comes, at least to the waves I have collected, I say collected like I've finished any of them, but I think with a lot of them, the face sculpts are the issues. Talk about this guy. This is Mixmaster. He is a pretty unique case because so not only does he come with closed hands and open hands, which I don't have. I mean, I have them, I just don't have them overall. But he also comes with a blaster in his hand that you can just pop one hand off and pop into place instead. And you get that. It's supposed to be up like that. Get that. That's neat. That's cool. I like that. Neat little feature for posability. You know, keeps them looking a little different. Overall, I really like this Mixmaster. I love the green that they use for all the Constructicons. I wish I could collect the Defender series vehicle mode version Constructicons. because I would really like to have their Devastator. But, I mean, technically I can collect the alt modes, but actually getting the pieces to make Devastator would be difficult since I live in the US. So, that. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and talk about this Acid Storm. So this is Acid Storm from Shining version. And yeah, so he's the same size as the Galaxy version figure. This is actually the exact same as the Galaxy version Acid Storm, except he has a chromed out face, which looks really nice. And if you flick him on the chest, he lights up, which is cool. The light's supposed to come through his eyes, and like it does a little bit, but you probably can't really see it that well. It comes through his chest really well, though. He also glows in the dark a little bit, like his thighs do, but it really doesn't work that well. He also comes with a unique stand. Well, not a unique stand, I'll show you that in a second, but it comes with a stand, which is different from the Galaxy version. So that's cool. I like him. I like Shining version. I don't know if the $2 extra is worth it, though. Let's talk about Transformers 1 Optimus. Transformers 1 Optimus, you will notice he's shiny. He's shiny. He's quite shiny, actually. So this is not the Chase variant Optimus, which is... Chase variant Optimus is far more shiny than this. I don't have the Chase variant. But but this is still pretty shiny. He's got shiny smokestacks, shiny forearm, shiny thighs. He's got nice printing on his chest and on his that area. I just can't remember the name of it. He also, while he came with closed hands and open hands, he also comes with an Energon axe that plugs into one of his hand spots, and he comes with a blast hole, which is still better than the Transformers 1 Studio Series Optimus Prime. So yeah, I refuse to do my video on that because I genuinely despise that figure with every fiber of my being. Last two Galaxy versions. I'll talk about this guy. This is Sentinel from Transformers 1, and he looks amazing. He's very shiny, very metallic-y. I love it. The gold they use on him is phenomenal. His face sculpt is not terrible. He comes with this weapon. That's a leg up on Studio Series. Again. His wings look very nice. A leg up on Studio Series. And he's also a little bit taller than the average Galaxy version, which is nice. And then we have, this is my most recent one. I literally got this guy today. This is Galaxy version IDW Optimus Prime from Galaxy version 07, I think? 06? 06. He looks great. This is amazing. This is a slightly older figure, I think. I think he's probably the oldest Galaxy in my collection, but he's amazing. Mostly just because of what he comes with. So, most of these figures are made out of, like, 15 pieces. And he's definitely close. He's definitely like 20, 21, 22 pieces. I still love it, though. For one, he comes with a blast effect. None of the other ones in my collection come with a blast effect. That's awesome. Oh, which also, the blast effect works on his cannons attached to his back. Kind of. There we go. They work on the cannons on his back, which is awesome. Then he comes with his own weapon, which, as you saw, not all of the regular Galaxy version ones do come with a weapon. Most of them do, not all of them. Actually, yes, all of them, I guess. I mean, I guess the sequels kind of do, kind of don't, because the null arrays are more a part of them, but they are weapons, so they technically do. And then he comes with these own blasters, which look great, because this is IDW Optimus, and IDW Optimus is, like, probably the best Optimus design ever. Back cannons, which also shoulder, like, wheels look awesome. Head sculpt is probably kind of peak. And the only real issue is that he's not, like, shiny. But again, since he's from the comic book, I'm fine with it, because, you know, he's kind of not supposed to. I'm also going to use him to talk about Galaxy version scale. Oh, and bases. So most Galaxy version figures come with a base like this. Some of them have two other, just like, stand pegs in between. Not all of them, though. Depends on how recent the figure is. But yeah, so I'm talking about scale with this guy. Or not scale. Well, I will talk about scale, and also articulation. So, Yeah, so in terms of articulation on this guy, it's pretty much the same as Defender in all reality. Oh man, his head is really tight. He might have been a terrible one to do. Okay, so his head can look up that much, look down that much. Head articulation does vary because the head sculpts are all pretty different for a lot of the figure. Head can rotate all the way around, although, as I said just a second ago, his head is very tight. There we go. Arms go out that far. They can rotate all the way around. He has actual joints, by the way. Now, these are all a little different. Normally, you have to actually build the joints. These are joints that come pre-assembled. Again, that's due to him just being an old figure. They've updated the figures a little bit. And even now, like most of the galaxies I've shown you have had built joints. They've changed joints since then. So I just don't have any that are new enough to have those new joints. The joints in the arms and the legs are the exact same, by the way. So he has over 90 degrees in bend at the arm, at the elbow. He, whoopsies, has bicep. He has wrists. I'm not going to show that, but they go all the way around, trust me. He has waist, which goes all the way around. He has legs that go back that much, forward that much, out that much, and then knees that go over 90 degrees. He has knee swivel, and then he has feet that go down, they go up, and they can spin or swivel just a little bit. That's great. It's an amazing amount of articulation to have. I love it. I love it. That's kind of what makes Galaxy my favorite. It's got the articulation of, pretty much any action figure, and they're pretty cheap. Again, $5, and they will now for scale, this is HG Gundam Battlelog Goof. So you can see you're getting a little bit closer, but still not there. Still not there. We have Deluxe Class Cybertron Hotshot, and then we have Gamer Edition or Gamer Version, Gamer Force Venom, the Captain America Venom 2-pack. Yes, I collect other things than Transformers, and they're all manufactured by Hasbro, except for Gundam. Gundam's not manufactured by Hasbro. I don't really collect Gundam anymore, though. So, but yeah, I do love Galaxy. It's my favorite scale, at least that I've collected. I still want to collect an Action Edition and one Action Edition Soundwave, but hopefully we'll get that for Christmas. Anyway, okay, I can finally get to this guy. This is Classic Class Transformers 1 Starscream. I specifically chose him over Rise of the Beast Optimus and their Nemesis Prime and Transformers 1 Bumblebee and Transformers 1 Alita because I don't know if I'm going to get the Studio Series figure of Starscream because every video I've seen of him, he appears to be very, very abhorrently designed. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'll get the figure eventually and I'll actually really like the figure. I don't know. Anyway, I'll start with, the base, because that's, the simplest thing for me to talk about with this guy. I'm just gotta get Starscream in a position. He'll just stand over to the side. Base. Very simple. So this is actually two of the same base as, Shining Version Acid Storm, just connected. So all the bases can actually connect. They use, an interlocking system. It's very neat, very cool. And he also comes with these environmental pieces, which is kind of look cool on the stand. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that collect Blokees, especially in class, don't really use the stands to display them, which makes sense. But if you're not putting them in a pose, there's no real reason to use a stand, but still. Yeah, just a stand, though. Starscream! This little man, he's not very little. I mean, he's whatever, He's almost exactly 6 inches, I think. I really need to actually measure him. So I'm starting with scale. So I'm using, hold on, I gotta fix his leg. Gundam Battlelog Goof, again. This is one of the biggest comparisons you should pay attention to, because these are pretty much, these are pretty much direct competitors. Gundam and Blokees, especially Classic Class, are pretty much direct competitors to each other. And they're about the same height, just about the same height. It's probably hard to tell with the angle I have my camera at, but they're basically the same height. Goof Custom is slightly taller than the average HG. Gundam scale is a little weird because Gundam scale, like, class is based off of their actual, like, scale of, like, I think if my more HG is 1/120th the size of an actual Gundam. So, like, this Goof figure is supposed to be 1/120th the size of what Goof is in, like, the anime. Whereas Classic Class doesn't really have a scale like that. It's more just an overall size, just, like, assumption for the figure. But yeah, these are pretty much direct competitors, because again, this is $20, this is $25. Like, it's real close. And I should have got down my MG Buster to show that difference, but maybe if I get a, Action Edition figure, I will do that instead, because I know Action Edition is much closer to MG in terms of the scale there, so I'll probably do that with that. Yeah. Something else you will notice pretty much immediately is the plastic here. Goof is fairly flat. I say that not necessarily in a bad way, alright? Goof, he's just red. He's just red, right? But it's a cherry red. It looks good, but it's plastic, right? This is still plastic, but it's metallic plastic. And you can tell this looks really nice. Really good. Now one big area in which Gundams and like Action Edition or not the same, or Classic Class, not the same thing, is engineering. Alright. Now, in terms of articulation, they're identical. Which I'll talk about articulation with him in a minute. But when I say engineering, I mean the engineering of the skeleton on the inside. Gundams are very well known for having very complicated and very complex skeletons, especially MGs. They have very, very complex skeletons. Blokees don't. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Honestly, I think it's a good thing, because an issue I have with Gundams is that when I'm trying to mess with them, they always feel like they're going to break. They feel fairly brittle because of the way that those skeletons work. But, like, he has a double jointed knee. That's made out of, like, 6 different pieces that you have to put together yourself, right? Whereas Starscream has a single jointed knee, which gives about the same amount of motion, same range of motion, but that's like 2 pieces, 3 pieces, I think. Like, it's not the same amount of complexity, and you can definitely tell. However, that also makes Classic Class feel quite a bit more stable overall, because, like, this knee right here feels very tight. Goose feels very loose. Is that because this is actually a mold from 2001? Yes, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a really big thing when it comes to, like, Blokees over Gundam, is the skeletons on the inside are not the same at all. But with Gundam, I feel like the skeleton is really only an advantage for the building process and not an advantage for the actual figure itself. Whereas with Gundam, or with Classic, I think it's the exact opposite. The figure itself is much better for having a much simpler skeleton, but I think the building process is not necessarily much worse, but it's definitely more boring, because not as fun. You're not building the joints, you know, you're putting maybe 3 pieces together to make a rudimentary knee joint. It's literally a hinge. Now, in terms of, like, articulation, this is going to be pretty much the exact same as Galaxy. So, head can look, maybe it can't look up and down. I just popped his head off. Yeah, no. There we go. Okay, he's got a little bit of swivel. I guess he can't, I mean, he can look up and down a little bit. His head can go, I think, all the way around. Yeah, it can. He does also have, there we go, the lights in him, like the Shining version figure. It's actually the exact same, like, inner chest piece as the Shining version, which is very funny to me. His arms are kind of double jointed, like they're jointed in here and out here, which allows for some up and down movement like that, as well as a little bit of butterflies out here, which is nice. Arms can go out that far and come up like that, which is very nice, very cool. Arms would technically can go all the way around, because they can move out of the way of that, which is nice. He does have biceps. He also has elbows. And he has wrists. Oh. Wrists. The wrists on Gundams and Classic Class were done very similarly. He does have waist, which is honestly very surprising because of the cockpit heel. But nice that's there. It's also obviously doesn't go all the way, but that's nice. Then he has these hip sculpts that have to come out. There we go. For his legs to be able to go forward. There we go. You can go forward that far. You can go back that far. They go out that far. Knees about that much. Has knee swivel. Ankles. And they can also go forward and back. Sometimes articulation, you know, pretty much everything you would want. And again, he looks great. Like, and that goes for literally every, like, Blokees thing. I genuinely don't think I've seen one, like, even in videos, that looks bad, truly. my least favorite, like, I think Orion Pax is my least favorite. It's really just because he's more bland, but I would say that about literally anything Orion Pax, except for, like, IDW Orion Pax. Because IDW Orion Pax is basically IDW Optimus, right? But, like, Transformers 1 Orion is, while still similar to 1 Optimus, is not the same thing. And he looks much blander because he's not as shiny. Like, even in the movie, he literally gets shinier when he becomes Optimus. Whole thing. So it's really bad, or, like, boring-looking Blokees is really boring because of the character design, not because of the Blokees. So, yeah. And I mean, I've got a lot. I've got a lot of, little figures to bring back on screen now. But, this has been my look at Blokees. Again, kind of just generally, like, Blokees. This is every piece of Blokees merchandise that I own. I did these all in one video because I thought it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Why not? They're all pretty much the same. I can cover pretty much everything pretty rapid fire. I think I still was a little slower than I should have been, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I still haven't edited the video, right? But yeah. This was also kind of just a bit of a testing ground for whether or not you guys enjoy me doing stuff outside of just Transformers. Again, I kind of showed a lot of the stuff I own that isn't Transformers in this video. And if you like seeing a lot of stuff other than Transformers, you know, like Marvel Legends, maybe Gundam occasionally, that'd get me back into actually building Gundam. Because I have figures in backlog that I never built. Stuff like that, you know? So, like, if you really do, like, if you guys really like me covering other stuff occasionally, then I will, because why not? I definitely want to do some other random things to break up the monotony occasionally, so that'll always be nice to me. So as long as it's nice to you guys, that's chill. I will hopefully be doing Superion next week. Again, I'm saying hopefully, because who knows, I might just get the itch to cover something absolutely out there and random. But, yeah. And again, I'm not covering Firefly and Skydive. I'm not doing videos on them individually, because they're too similar to Air Raid and, Slingshot for me to, like, want it in my mind. It's like, I basically already made those videos. I can just talk about how much I like the decos, how much more I like those decos in the Superion video, and then I can just talk about Superion, which in Superion won't have a transformation sequence, so they can take up that space. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do for that. That's it. That's yeah. Anyway, see ya. Good afternoon, or have a good rest of your day, have a good night, whatever. See ya. And go, as always, go follow me on TikTok, because that's where I occasionally post things about me getting random things. So yeah.